great day to be an Eagle. One more time for the greatest team in
America. Cody, I honestly don't know what to say.
There's no words. There's no words.
There's no words. I've thought we're recording this Sunday night, a full 24 plus hours after what we all witnessed in the Valley in Fresno, California.
It's probably a good thing we waited 24 hours.
It would have been, I don't know if it had been a different episode. Yeah, things might be taken down a notch or two from the place we were in last night. But I've thought all day about what to say, how to open this podcast. And yeah, I kept coming back. I'm like, nothing I'm going to say is going to make any of the listeners, any of the fans out there, you and I included, Cody, feel better about what we witnessed, but then I thought, and I had the realization, welcome to Gotta Talk, that, we're here, we're around, we have this platform for a reason. People listen to us for a reason. We've been doing this for 8 seasons now. And these episodes typically do the best of the episodes we do because we keep it real. We do.
Yeah.
We're a fan podcast for fans by fans. We're not in bed with the university. We're not in bed with any sponsors that are tied to the university. We're not, we speak the truth. We say it we tell it like it is, and we say the things that you're thinking. Right. A lot of which we read. Yeah. We read the forums. We read all the socials. We just say the things that you're saying to your buddies, to your friends, to whatever, putting on social. We just happen to have a microphone.
Yeah. For better or for worse, right or wrong, we will say how it feels and how it comes across, and we'll let it just go. But I guess you could say there's plenty to talk about, but then there's at the same time really not much to talk about. It is what it is. I mean, it was a complete butt whooping.
I agree. Yeah, I thought that too. I'm like we can, there's obviously things to talk about, like an unpack. I mean, we don't need to get super into the details of this is what happened in the game. We don't want to relive that. I don't want to relive that. I mean, Cody, we struggled to record tonight. It's holiday weekend, I don't even have on my Georgia Southern gear. I've got a Casa Bonita shirt on, my PGA Colorado hat, I had a good day,
We keep on going with games like this. Matt's going to be in Florida Gator gear.
No, I won't go that far, but I got away today, saw some friends, blocked it out of my memory,
Yeah.
But it's hard. It is hard for y'all listening to. I mean, obviously you're reliving it listening, but we have to get on and record this after a showing like that. And I mean, it's not fun. There's nothing fun about this.
This was not fun at all. I think, to me, and here's where I guess we're just going to start from here. To me, there seems to be a gradual decline from obviously last year. I don't know what happened with the bowl game. I don't know what's going on with the prep into this first game, but it just seems that either schematically, the way that we're looking at how to attack the opponent, just something's off to where we're just completely wrong about it. And I mean, I don't know what more there is to say. I mean, what their strength of their offense is. You know that you need to be, the first and foremost thing is you need to stop the run, and we don't do it. And I don't think that they're doing anything really too complicated. I mean, it seems to be a lot of inside zone.
Yeah, inside zone. It's not like a ton of
just
RPO
heavy
and stuff. Yeah.
Pulls from guards or whatever, and we just could not do it. And we were getting manhandled in the trenches, especially in that second half. And I know that you and I kind of gone back and forth on it as to, was it really the scheme of the defense, or was it because the offense was on the field for maybe a minute and a half and our defense had no time to recover? But you can't. It was just poor. I mean, I started with the
all
coaching
three
staff.
phases. Special teams was awful.
Special teams will have its own thing, because what that is absolutely the how far that has dropped. And you could just see it in one game is shocking and concerning at the
Yeah.
same time. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And again, it's the details. And if we're that bad on special teams, which have really the past 3, 4, 5 seasons been good for us,
Pretty good. Yeah.
this is I'm not saying that the panic level is at the top, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
It's
I'm
getting
not I'm not getting there until Jacksonville State when I can actually see just how bad we are. But I'm telling you,
right.
that right there, that special teams has me really concerned that we are not prepared for this season. We are not prepared as a team overall. And that this is maybe historically going to be a very, very bad season for us.
It very well could be. It very well could be. And yeah, I mean, look, this was a game that Cody and I going in, I think, but mutually we're pretty confident in. Maybe me a bit more than Cody. Obviously, I claimed I thought it could be a two score win for us. Obviously not the case. 42-14 the final. This was worst case scenario. It was worst case scenario.
It is.
So, we had our previews episodes. We had the expectations episodes. I said somewhere along the way, I'm like, look, there's a possibility, right? There's a possibility you lose any game. There's a possibility USC loses. They're not, but there's a possibility.
Yeah.
And with this, it was like, I made the claim of like, look, the goal for me is winning the East of the Sun Belt, cementing a spot in the Sun Belt Championship game for the first time, and possibly winning a title. And against the West, of how it was shaping up in preseason, that looks still like a very winnable game. That's still in front of us. That's still obviously obtainable.
No, it's not.
Out of conference games, or they don't, one way or another, they don't play into it, right? So I said all of that for like, hey, if we end up losing 35-32 or 28-27 or something, there's a terrible call or just like a freak play or whatever, like something, even like 14-13, something close where it's like, look, we were competitive, we did it was just long road trip, blah, blah, blah. Yes, excuses, but like we were there. It's it sucks, but we we showed up. We didn't show up in this game. We were bad in all three phases, like we said. We got completely destroyed, 42-14, outscored 29-0 in the second half. It's embarrassing. It was coaching malpractice. That's concerning because, again, a loss is a loss, goes down the same way, and it doesn't count to conference standings. But what we saw, the one piece of tape or evidence that we saw, everybody should be very, very, very concerned. And not that can we win the East and win the Sun Belt? Can we make a bowl game? Can we win more than 3 games?
Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly where it's at right now. And again, can that change? Yes. But from what we saw, huge turnaround. Like, unless we fix a lot of stuff, like pipe dream of winning the East. I mean, we're in pipe dream of making a bowl. I mean, this very well could be, 21 all over again.
Yeah, it could be. And that's the scary part about it, is that as I watched the teams that we go up against this season and kind of who they were playing and how they fared, whether they stayed in it for a half or 3 quarters or they won their football game, I don't know if we look better than 2 or 3 of our opponents. And that's also including Maine, who was in that game with Liberty for 3 quarters.
They were.
I mean, at this point, I don't know if we could stay in a game with Liberty for a quarter. Not the way that we played. I mean,
not the way we. No, we're
terrible.
We on it. If we play the way we play, and that's the thing is like, right, like, yes, teams, there's ebbs and flows, things happen, whatever, right? Like,
we had 10 minutes of good football.
If we play like that at all the rest of the season, we're not winning another game. Period.
No.
Not even against Maine. Period. Now, does that mean that that's going to happen? No, like I think we're going to figure some stuff out. We've seen this before. We've seen just terrible games. But again, from where we thought we could be, like
Yeah.
you're talking about, like we're at, a 1 or a 2 trying to get to a 9 or a 10. Not to a 5 or 6, or 7, just mediocre, right? As that buzzword of make the bowl game, win 6 or 7 games. We're trying to get to that 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 win category. Obviously 12 is already out of the picture. 11 is going to be out of the picture after we play USC. We're going to be 0-2 most likely, headed home, and the best we can hope for in out of conference play is a 2-2 record heading up to JMU. So it's it's a bad way to start the season.
It's a bad way to start the season, and it's not because of just that we lost. It's how bad we looked in the loss. It's how badly
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
we failed to execute. It's how badly our offense failed to move the ball outside of 2 drives. It's how badly our special teams had what to me accounted for really lack of focus and football IQ. I mean, why in the world are we returning kickoffs?
That's just so bonehead.
And from our end zone
from the back of the end zone in some cases, like not even like questionable where it's
there seemed to be no football IQ. I don't understand it. You look at the very first punt that we had, and the guy goes for what? He nearly takes it to the house, and it sets up their first touchdown. You had another punt where it only went 18 yards. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Alex Smith play as bad as what
It was bad. It was bad. I mean, because the 18-yard that wasn't net or whatever. Yeah, that he just kicked it 18.
No, yeah, he wasn't. He just shanked it.
He shanked it,
and it wasn't blocked as far as I can tell. I mean, at least the extra points were good. I mean, that may be the best part.
I was going to say, no field goal attempts, right?
No field goal attempts. But
so we don't know, and I mean, from the 2 that we saw, I mean, they looked straight and fine.
Again, just to go back to the football IQ of it, I don't know how the exact analytics of it is, but I'm pretty sure that if the kickoff is past the 5-yard line, and any time that you return it out, odds are you're not making it back to the 25-yard line. So just go ahead and call the fair catch if you know you're going to catch it beyond the 5-yard line.
I just don't.
And just take it. And then you save the time. You have, you don't waste the 10 seconds it is to run out the ball and get tackled and get hit and all that other crap. And you just move on. So maybe they're trying for a home run play, but at that point to open up the second half, there's no point for the home run play. You already had the lead. Okay, you go down by 21-14 at that point, and then you're returning it again out of the end zone, and you're setting yourself up. That was the other big problem in this whole game, is that the field position aspect of it was terrible. We're consistently starting from the 25-yard line or worse, while they're consistently starting from around the 50 or in between the 40s.
Yeah,
and they're having these short fields, and we can never flip the field, and we can never turn a tide.
Team that's terrible.
Exactly. So, that right there are 2 huge aspects of this as to why we just looked absolutely garbage. I tried to block out as much of that game as I could last night, so forgive me if some of the details are wrong, but the offensive play calling and what we tried to do.
Typically, Cody goes back and rewatches all the games.
I didn't want to watch this game.
No, I don't blame you.
And the offensive play calling, again, I think we only threw the ball once to the tight end, and that was for that touchdown, which was a great play. That was a nice looking play, but we never utilized the tight end. Whereas I think Kansas utilized the tight end, I think at least 4 or 5 times in their passing scheme, as well as in their passing scheme, they took the outs, they took the flats, they took, I thought, easy completions that we just seem to not want to do. We try to utilize, I think, harder conversions or harder passing scheme. And I don't know. Sapling just did not seem to have a grasp on how to. And I don't know if it's because he's on the field and he's getting caught up in the heat and the motion of the game, and he's trying to force something there that doesn't need to be forced. But the play calling just was not there. And I'll be honest with you, the play calling hasn't been there since about week 6 of last year. I went back and looked at it again. The first 5 games of last year, we scored 30 or more points 3 times. We scored 40 against Boise State. We scored 40 something against the FCS team that we played. That was, I think they went on to play in the Celebration Bowl at the end of the year. Whoever was it that we played. Was that? Yeah.
No, North Carolina Central or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. And then we scored over 30 against Georgia State. Since then, we've only scored more than 30 points once, and that was against South Alabama. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on with the offense since then, but our offense has been anemic. And if we're not scoring 30-plus points, we're not winning football games. And if we're hoping to win, yeah, exactly. If we're hoping to win like that, we better have a daggum good defense. And right now, that defense looks like a screen door in a submarine, man. It has full of holes in it.
It's bad.
Not good.
Bad. Yeah, running the ball too, and I know, right, that's a pain point for a lot of people. I mean, O.J. Arnold looked great from the little bit that we got to see. Every time he touched the ball, he averaged 4.6 yards per game. I don't have the first half stats in front of me. Only 9 carries for the entire game for 41 yards.
Oh, that was another frustrating part. Yeah. The very first play that we had was about an 8 or 9 yard run from O.J. Arnold that gets called back for a hold.
Yeah.
So again, the little things. I'm starting to understand a lot of what the USC fans were saying whenever we first hired Clay Helton. I feel like every time we get our hopes up that we're turning the corner, we're getting somewhere.
I know. Yeah.
It is a crashing hard reality that we just have this disappointment of a game or season or something.
It's like an abusive relationship. I mean, it really is. Like I saw someone say that. Yeah, like I saw someone say that on X, I think, and I agree. I mean, it really is. Like Cody and I, we drank the Kool-Aid. We did. And, we got excited because on paper, the team looks like they can be really good.
We drank the Kool-Aid after the Nebraska loss. We drank the Kool-Aid after the JMU loss. We drank the Kool-Aid after
I think this is the most optimistic we've ever been in the 4 years preseason leading in, though.
Preseason, yes.
Yeah.
We drank the Kool-Aid after we started 6-2 the Davis Brin season. We drank the Kool-Aid after, last year, after we beat JMU and we're going up to ODU. And now we drank the Kool-Aid for the preseason, thinking that we're actually about to turn a corner. And what corner have we turned?
Yeah, we went again, it's how we played, how we looked, not the win or loss. Like if it was a close game, yeah, we'd be mad, we'd be upset, we'd still be saying probably a lot of the same things. But it's not just that we're 0-1. It's how we got to 0-1. And again, we can't not just play that way. Like we can't play anywhere close to that if we want to obtain anything of substance this year.
Now here's one excuse maybe that I'll throw out there. Do you think the temperature?
No.
Heat of the
100-degree kickoff. Cody, my skin melted off in Statesboro against Boise State last year. It was so hot.
It was.
You have your season tickets. You're third row up, second row, third row.
Yeah.
And that was the hottest. I lived in Florida for 10 years. That was the hottest I think I've ever been. And I don't know what the humidity was, but high, let's just say high.
Yeah, it was high.
And it was hot. So no, was it comfortable in Fresno? No. But it wasn't anything we weren't used to.
Okay. Do you think starting at 9:40 local time?
That maybe more so. I mean, I'll say the team looked out of shape. They looked not well conditioned. We've talked about strength and conditioning on here. We've gone through several different S&C coaches. I don't think that has anything to do with a time change. Like 9:30 hits 10 o'clock and your internal clock hits and you're just shut down. That's not how that works. So no, they looked, I mean, the defense was gassed and they're facing a running team, and that's what, Ince wants to do, their head coach at Fresno. But honestly, the offense did too. I mean, they just looked really out of shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not an excuse. I don't think that has anything to do with the weather. I don't think it has anything to do with the time. If I thought either of those things had something to do with it, I'd say it, but I really don't. I think if it was played at 1 o'clock and it was 70 degrees, we would have seen the same result. I really do.
I mean, I'm really just grasping for straws as to what if.
Yeah, there's not Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we haven't been on a long road trip. We went out to Nevada. I didn't really see too much of a difference between last year's Nevada team and this year's Fresno State team. I would probably say that the quarterback play from Nevada last year was better than EJ Warner was
100%.
this year.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I'm not impressed by him. 20 for 27, 176 yards. He threw 2 picks, still no touchdowns. So he's got, 4 interceptions already on the year. And, I was surprised in Fresno's game plan and play calling
By making him throw.
Why are you making him throw down the field? I mean, he was pretty good on like the scripted plays. He's pretty good on like the quick outs and things like that. But throwing down the field was not, and they kept going back to the well there, and we kept, making them pay the price. And then finally, they make that adjustment kind of right before half, and then definitely in the final 2 quarters where again, I'm gonna say like the bulk of his passes came in the first half.
Yeah.
And because I mean he didn't need to pass. Like they saw something in the running game that they could exploit. They kept going back to the well there. And defensively, we had no answer for it or any adjustments for it on our end at the half. And that's frustrating too. Like it seemed like our end, they ran to the right side, it seemed a lot more than they did to the left side. Like you said, it wasn't anything overly complicated. There wasn't a ton of motion or anything. Like, yeah, they ran some RPO, but like most of it was just like off tackle runs. Inside and outside zone, and like in our D end was over pursuing like every play and running like past the running back, and then and it was like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards every time.
I will say this: I don't know enough about the schematics and the scheme to sit there and make any sort of honest or educated guesses or comments as to what broke down with our defensive scheme and why we could not stop their run game. But I will say this, Brandon Bailey and that coaching staff should have the answers for that and why there wasn't any
They absolutely should. Yeah, everyone's like on Twitter, so we're like I put on there, I'm like, we got out coached and out schemed, and some guy was like, what's out schemed? Like what was the scheme? And I'm like, I don't know, you tell me. Like Brandon Bailey, who's getting paid 6 figures to figure this out. Kansas figured it out. They held him to 37 yards rushing. We gave up 351 yards. Like, can't happen.
No,
like, figure it out. Make adjustment. Like, the talent is there.
Yeah. I mean, we won't say much about the USC game. I don't think we'll say much after the USC game. I think really, if I'm not speaking for myself, I'm not going to speak for the fan base, but I feel like there's a lot that probably feel the same way as I do, is that we're going to wait and see until the Jacksonville State game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put any stock. Yeah, you can't put any stock in.
I think the Jacksonville State game will be a huge turning point for the fans as to what happens with the football program moving forward.
And I would say not just the result of win and loss, but again, how we look in the game.
Yeah.
Like if we pull out a 17-16 game or 31-30, like there's still going to be a lot of people that are pissed. And myself
there probably
included.
will be, but if it's a win, it's a win. And
no, I'm sorry.
Well, we'll move forward and we'll see what the next game provides against Maine. But
yeah, and that one you should win, especially if we beat Jack State.
You're right.
And
but
then,
again, if it's
and
another
JMU, and then if it's another JMU game like we had 2 years ago where we get blown out up there, and it's like, oh, okay, no, we can't compete in this conference. So
there's going to have to be something changing with that. Again, let's, it's still the first game. I'm trying to be positive about this, and I can't believe I'm trying to be positive on this episode.
I'm not. I don't.
I know.
I dude, I don't blame anybody. Like, why are you gonna want to watch this USC game? Like, it's not gonna be enjoyable to watch. They beat Missouri State 73-13. 73-13. Missouri State, yes, FCS program last year. They moved up. They're in the Conference USA now. Still mostly FCS roster, transition, blah, blah, blah. On paper, I don't know a ton about Missouri State, but, on paper, I would imagine that we would have more talent than them, but still, they
at this point, it wouldn't matter because I feel like we get outcoached.
We get outcoached. And that's the thing is, I don't think it's a talent disparity.
Let me ask you this, because I've been going back and forth on this a lot the last probably couple of months with this thought is that in today's coaching world versus 20, 30, 40 years ago, is the head coach involved as much as what they used to be in terms of game planning, game scheming, involved in the actual development of how we're attacking, or is that mainly at the coordinator level to where that responsibility is being
I think it depends on the head coach. I would say like on average less probably now than it was before.
Yeah.
I would say now it's more of you're the CEO, right, of the football program.
So if you're the CEO, you're probably not in the
you're
weeds.
accountable, you're the director of everything, right? You're the VP, whatever you want to call it. No, you're probably not in the weeds of like, does he know verbatim what the first 15 calls are if the first 15 calls are scripted? No, he might not. So no, not that level. I think generally he probably, like, I'm sure he meets with the coordinators multiple times per week to like go over like, hey, what are you thinking, blah, blah, blah. But no, you're the face of the program. You're, answering the media. You're doing the, while wing talks and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's what the head coach is nowadays. Like, it's you're the figurehead.
So then, if that's the case, how do we? I feel like the level of responsibility now is more on the coordinators than is the head coach. In terms
when we show what we showed on Saturday in Fresno, all that goes out the window and you step in. All right. I'm in a senior leadership position for my day job. If the equivalent of what goes, what happened on Saturday happens with my job, I'm in PR, I'm in marketing. Like, I take those juniors out and, the junior roles and the green people and all that, and I step in and get my hands dirty. I step in to remedy the situation. That's what a head coach can and should do in modern day college football.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, so like if you see that, which is why I'm more angry today, honestly, than I was last night. Last night I was numb. Today I'm more angry because I saw the post-game interview from Helton, and he accepted zero accountability once again, and I'm over it. It's the same coach speak stuff. Big Frank interviewed him. Of course, I'm sure that was just one clip of the interview, but that's what he chose to post. And he's kind of like smiling, smirking through it. And it was mostly about the players. The players are disappointed. The players are disappointed. The players know they can play better. The players. How about the coaches? How about like, hey, we didn't have the team ready. The defense has to get better because we clearly didn't have an answer for them. They made adjustments. We didn't. That can't happen. I'm going to see to it that it gets corrected. I'm going to see to it that the bad play calling stops happening. I'm going to see to it that we're not calling, these dumb trick plays when they don't need to be called. I'm going to see to it, right? Like, I haven't been in the weeds, but guess what? I'm going to be in the weeds. I'm going to be on their rear ends, not just the players, but on my coaches, on my fellow coaches. I'm going to be on their butts to make sure that they right this ship. And there was none of that. It was just like, oh, Fresno's a good team, blah, blah, just the same stuff. And fans are tired of it. They see right through it. It's just we're done.
Yeah, I would like to see a bit more, I guess, honest reaction or realism from Coach Helton instead of
see it with other coaches. Like you talk about that, right? Like, no, every coach is different, obviously. They're not all Saban, and they're not all just going to like shoot off the handle and do the, what through a tin horn kind of rants. But like, I think Fresno's coach is a great example of that. Came from Fresno State, was at USC last year, now at Fresno. He, maybe doesn't have the quintessential look of a head coach, kind of looks more like a Brandon Bailey, glasses, all that kind of stuff. But like, watch his, Cody, you shared his pregame interview or his press conference leading up to the game. And I thought that like it was honesty. Yeah, there was some coach speak in there, but he was just like, yeah, we're going to have our hands full with it, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know. It was just like, there's just authenticity comes to mind. The word authenticity. And like, I've seen other people and definitely more of the Helton critics kind of bring this up, and USC fans, right? Of when we got him, of like, he's a snake oil salesman and this and that. I'm not going like quite that far, but like, with every passing game, especially in these moments where it's like, dude, you need to break character and you need to be like, this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I'm the person that's accountable and I'm going to fix it. And I've never once heard that from him.
Not off the top of my head, not when we have sort of this disappointing or this letdown that we've experienced. It's it's frustrating. You would like to see him kind of break out of that public speaking role, or and just shoot from the heart and shoot from the hip and just
He speaks like a life coach or something. Yeah, it's like, dude, just be honest.
Yeah,
like, we got our butts kicked.
We did,
and it's not acceptable. And we're gonna fix it, But he's never said that, and that's concerning.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, all right.
Especially when we don't hear from the coordinators often, and that's something you've brought up before.
That's something that I really want.
Where you see that a lot of other programs, like Group of Five, Power Four, whatever.
Like, I'll be honest with you. Instead of having the players come out there every Monday during the media day, I would much rather it be the coordinators.
Let's hear Bailey and let's get Josh Aubrey asking him questions and grilling.
I don't think it's fair to send those players out there, especially like after like games like this. And I don't know if they'll have a media day per se since they're still staying out there in California.
Maybe not. Yeah.
But no, honestly, I don't think it's right to send a player out there to speak for the defense or for the offense, especially after a disappointing loss or
have
game
the head of that department.
Yeah, I think you need to have the coordinators out there doing that.
Again, that would be like one of my like junior employees being like, "Hey, go talk to whatever." We had this huge like PR crisis. Go say why that happened.
CEO.
Go talk to the president. Yeah, no. I'm in the president's office saying, why did that happen? I didn't know it happened. The junior person was a person responsible for it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what was going on. But guess what? I accept accountability for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you go in there and say how it's going to change.
Yeah.
And then do it. Otherwise, other stuff will happen.
Exactly.
And so anyways, I think, again, the lack of accountability from the coordinators is very frustrating. I would like to see Appling in front of the media and being asked questions as to how come the offense didn't execute the way that it should have. Why did we?
What were you seeing? Yeah. What adjustments did you see out of them in the second half, and why couldn't you, account for it?
Yeah. Why did it seem like each drive was only scripted for like a player? Like you had a Josh Dallas drive in which Josh Dallas got the ball like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then he disappears, and then
he didn't touch the ball in the second half.
And then you see Dylan Cobb, who doesn't touch the ball in the first half, but then gets a drive in which he's thrown 2, 3, 4 times in a row, and then that's it. And it just is. I think the first touchdown drive that we have, it was to Camden Brown for 3 or 4 straight plays, and then that was it. And then he's gone.
4 receptions, 55 yards. Yeah. Josh Dallas 5 for 48, had the 2 carries. It's just
It's like why are we just having drives that are just
again
for one
OJ
person
Arnold
only?
9 carries, I think probably 6 or 7 were probably in the first half. 41 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, and then you don't really see him. We only ran the ball 21 total times.
And then you can bring up Bailey. Why was there only 6 guys in the box? Why are we having problems with a team that we know is going to run inside zone and they just run it down our throat? Like what was happening? At least so that we can have an understanding as to that what you're seeing and that you understand the problem and that you understand how to correct it. Because
exactly. Like you're football smart, right? Because that's the thing is like, no, Cody and I aren't coaches. Cody and I didn't play college football. We didn't play high school football. Okay. Like, and we never claimed to be like, hey, we could step in there and do that. We've never once done that. But, again, we're fan podcasts. These guys, now Bailey didn't play either, which is, not always, the head coach of Miami Dolphins, right? He never played. So like you're seeing it more and more now than ever before of these guys that are quote unquote just like students of the game, fans of the game that become good coaches. But let's call it what it is. Bailey is a very young guy, right? Last year he was the youngest coordinator in the country. I think he's, if not the youngest, like the second youngest now. And Applin's right up there with him. It has more experience collectively, but still not by much. Two very, very young guys. So back to that point that you were saying,
with very young staff,
that's speculation. And very young staffs too, exactly. And that's speculation, Cody, of like, he's letting them do their thing and he's not like a micromanager. And again, just doing the parallel to like my job. That's my worst fear in life, is to be a micromanager. I've been in leadership positions most of my career. I never want to do it, but hey, sometimes you have to. Sometimes that trust level's down, the production's bad, whatever it is, and you've got to get in the weeds with it. And so I don't know what kind of manager Clay Helton is, but if you have two green guys and you see this result of 42-14, guess what, son? You're a micromanager now. You're getting in the weeds until that gets corrected and they prove that they can do it on their own without, you holding their hand.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What else? We got anything else we want to add to this?
I mean, no. I mean, I just, I don't know.
This is going to be a long season.
No one's going to blame you if you don't watch the USC game. Cody and I will watch it because we're sickos.
Yeah.
And tune in next time to hear what we have to say about that.
If it goes the way that we think it's going to go, we won't really talk about the game. It'll probably be more on the line.
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
State.
We got Jacksonville State, and then we'll probably, I don't know who Jacksonville State plays this week, but we'll probably watch that a lot.
They
closer.
play. I'm pretty sure. I don't have it in front of me, so don't quote me on this. I think they play Liberty because I think we had said that they could very well be 0-2 coming in to play us because they played UCF in the first game, hung with UCF.
They did.
Very close ball game. Ended up losing by a touchdown right at the end. I think they play Liberty. Yeah.
It's Liberty.
Now, Liberty, again, struggled with Maine, pulled away at the end. But, so there's a lot of, like, little dotted line connections here. So I think there'll be a lot to unpack with Jacksonville
To keep with the UCF game, there was a, 2.5 hour lightning delay. UCF did have to go to their backup quarterback after that because of a hit to Cam Flancher right before that lightning delay. That was also a weird game. It was just nobody could really do much of anything with that.
It was sloppy.
Yeah. But still, both teams look better than us. I think I will say that. But no, I think, okay, so they play Liberty this week. Honestly, I'll probably watch that more intently than I will our own game just to see what happens.
100%. And I would encourage anyone listening to this to do the same, honestly. Like, do the YouTube TV, like, quad look or dual look or whatever, and have both on. Because, I mean, like, you never know. Anything can happen, but I think it'll be very similar to like Ole Miss last year, probably a lot worse, and that's unfortunate. We know the storylines behind it and stuff. I think we obviously would have played up those storylines a lot more in this episode had we beat Fresno, or at least look better against Fresno. But I don't even think they're worth mentioning. If anything, Cody, you actually brought up an interesting point that I didn't even consider, with this, but like, does Lincoln Riley look at this as a chance to just like really rub it in?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
And again, I that thought never even crossed my mind. It was so much about like Clay Helton revenge tour, blah, blah, blah. We've seen the memes. We've seen the graphics, first 3 years, Clay Helton's better at USC. He
better record or same record or whatever.
I think better record, I think by a couple of wins, but definitely more accolades, Rose Bowl, division title, Pac-12, none of which, Lincoln has obtained as of yet. So, I mean, he just hung a 70 burger on Missouri State. Like, he could be shooting for 80.
Yeah, I don't think he calls off the dogs at all.
No.
I don't think he does.
He
And
makes a statement.
I think he makes a statement, and I think, yeah, hopefully we, get out of there, majority of us healthy, and then get back to Georgia and go from here. And we have a 10 game season after that, with
We
6
do.
of the games being at home, but a lot to work on and a lot to fix in a short amount of time in what seems to be a wasted off season.
It does right now seem to be a wasted off season. It's a tough way to start the year. Not just a loss, but the sequence of games. We talked about that in the preseason episodes. Never played a team from California, never played in California. To do it back to back. First time, this is something we haven't talked about. First time since 1984 that we're starting a season with back to back road games.
No, I had
Which
no
is
idea.
I had no idea. But I heard that stat. I'm like, that's wild. And then we're doing it on the other coast. So again, maybe that's my little piece of optimism there. But and you're doing it with the Clay Helton coach team, which up until last year really struggled on the road. Still
Yeah.
not great on the road, but started to show some promise. But yeah, you're playing two teams back to back on the road, open the season, first time since before you won your first national championship. Yeah, I mean, take it for what you will. If you're looking for some nugget of hope, I guess that's it. Of get back to Paulson, just get through this week, injury free.
Yeah.
Have a safe trip home, reset, and like you said, it's basically a 10-game season from there on.
Yeah.
Go 500 in out of conference play, and then it's a brand new season altogether with 8 games remaining. And take it one game at a time. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Yeah, because if you start to, I think, look at it from a micro view or macro view,
Mhm.
like we did right after the game, it gets pretty depressing as to
It gets super depressing, but again, it's tough. We knew, most of us knew, if we lost against Fresno, regardless of the score, we're more than likely 0-2, right?
yeah, and I don't think that was really anything. I think a lot of folks was hoping for a 1-1 split. Obviously, beating Fresno, losing to USC, then coming home.
Yep.
That was probably a lot of folks' best case scenario. Obviously, we've lost to Fresno. Now we're probably going to lose to USC and come home 0-2. You made a point on one of the pregame or preseason episodes that you stated that you don't care really how we start with out of conference, that it's really just about how we perform.
I said I don't care what our record is.
Yeah.
I want my goal is to win the East, and I don't care if total that amounts to 12 wins, which now is impossible.
Yeah.
Or 11, whatever, all the way down to 8 or 7. I don't think certainly 7-5 is going to win us the East, but yeah, we could go 0-4 at this point. Honestly, the only reason I care about the out of conference games, other than how we look and projecting, hey, is this even obtainable? Can we do these, achieve these goals? It's for vanity. I mean, it's the out of conference games is just, can we compete against the Mountain West? Can we compete against a Power 4 opponent?
Mm-hmm.
Can we beat said Power 4 opponent? Can we be undefeated in out of conference play going into Harrisonburg and playing JMU, the favorite to win the East, and then we beat them and we're 5-0, in this hypothetical? Are we hosting a college game day? Are we ranked for the first time ever?
Yeah.
That's why that matters. Now that we lost 42-14, we're not going to be ranked this year, most likely. We're not going to host a college game day. We're not going to be a candidate. Even if we run the table, even if we beat USC, we're probably not making the college football playoff.
How frustrating would our fan base be if we beat USC?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that would just intensify my anger of the Fresno State game tenfold.
Yeah,
it really would.
That's why, because it's like Troy all over again, right?
Yeah.
It's know. And that's the thing is and someone asked on X today, they're like, what's our ceiling as an FBS program? And I'm like, it's all those things. Our ceiling is to win
Oh, yeah.
multiple, Sun Belt Conference championships, but it doesn't stop there. You get a seat at the table in the college football playoff, and you see what happens. You host a college game day, which, like, to some people might not matter. I want to do it. James Madison has done it several times. App State has done it several times. I want to do it. I
Yeah.
want, ESPN to head to Statesboro, feature Irk Russell, feature the school buses, feature all the traditions, and have a crazy crowd, behind them with all the crazy signs and stuff. We're not
Yeah.
going to get it this year now. Like after 1 week, we're probably not going to get it. Like that. Like, I know it might sound like a silly thing to like some people, but I just want to host a college game day.
It's
I want
not-
to be
it's-
ranked.
It's not a silly aspiration, especially when peer schools have done it, and have done it a couple of times, to say the least. No, I think it's those are all where we need to strive and be at. Again, I think the frustrating part is that when we're at the climb and we're getting near where we're about to level up and take it to a whole other aspect, we just seem to just can't get out of the way of ourselves. And here we are again, right out of the gate, just completely devastated as a fan base. This felt worse than last year when we just smoked JMU at home and looked like we were the best team in the Sun Belt, hands down, after that game. And then we just go and just completely lay an egg against ODU.
Right. And I think the history builds on itself, right?
Yeah.
And I think we have all that baggage, rightly so, and that plays in here, right? Because I don't think we would be reacting the same way, even as bad as that loss was and as ugly as we looked in it. I don't think we'd be reacting that way if Troy wasn't a thing, if ODU part 1 and 2 wasn't a thing, if, I don't like if our road record wasn't a thing under Helton, if our after a bye week record wasn't a thing with Helton, like, I don't think we would be reacting this way to 42-14, if all those things didn't exist. So that's the thing, is like that baggage is there, and that's why we're pulling from it. We have that historical context, and yeah, I mean, it's like, look, like, again, can we beat USC? I mean, there's a possibility. ESPN has us at 1.9%, right? So you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's also a possibility you and I could hit the Powerball.
There, exactly. But realistically, like, let's take out the USC thing. All right, we go 0-2, and then we run the table. We're 10-2, by all measure, great season, right? But again, like, yeah, that it could happen. Like, we could figure some stuff out and do it. But having this happen right out of the gate, compounded with everything I had just said, it gives us very little hope, because, like, again, lose to USC, beat Jack State, beat Maine, let's say beat JMU, Southern Miss, right, comes in on a Thursday night. Let's say we do that, and then all of a sudden we got a winning record.
We got some momentum.
We're 3-2, got some momentum.
We just won a tough road game.
Won a tough road game. Let's say JMU was undefeated at that time. They beat Louisville.
Yeah.
They come in 4-0. Maybe they're ranked. We beat them up there. All right, it's happening. We lose on a Thursday night to Southern Miss, at home. Like that. That's why we're saying all this, because, like, this game shows us that we haven't exercised those demons.
Correct.
We haven't. Those demons are still there. They're still lurking. And if we let our guard down, they're going to rear their head, their ugly head once again, and that's why we're upset. That's why I'm so upset anyway.
Yeah, nope. We'll get through this week with USC. We'll come back for the Jacksonville State preview. And like I said, I think really our next really big episode is going to be that Jacksonville State recap. And depending on how that goes, will depend on a lot of that discourse that you and I have as to how that. But let's just hope that we get out of USC in Los Angeles healthy.
Like you say, injury-free.
Yeah, injury-free is all I'm really hoping for, and that we can somehow manage a victory over Jacksonville State. So is there really anything else? Because I don't really want to spend any more time talking about the disappointment that was Fresno.
No, thank you to our sponsor, Can Cut Tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you,
Can Cut.
Andy. Yeah, Can Cut Tools. Go check them out. Cancut.com. It's KNKUT.com. Premium drill bits and cutting tools. Andy Thompson.
Sorry, Andy, we can't talk about better stuff.
I know. Well, no, man, we've been texting, and he was in Fresno. He's going to stay there for the full 2 weeks and go to the USC game. God bless him. God bless him, man. And that's what I said. I was like, I'm just saying, Knott's Berry Farm is a fun place. It really is. Just south of LA. If you're a theme park guy, if you're a roller coaster guy, super fun. I was like, just, head over there. Like, maybe do the tailgate, head over there, like listen to Danny Reed while you ride the roller coasters. Like, I don't think you're gonna miss much. But yeah, so he's out there supporting them, and we thank him for that, and we thank him for supporting this podcast. So go show him some love. Premium drill bits and cutting tools. If you're not in the market for that, and you know someone who is, let them know and tell them Gotta Talk sent you. Again, it's KNKUT.com. Go check them out on Instagram. So with that, Cody, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what happens against USC. And really start the new season.
Here we go.
Once we return home. So
man, I was hoping for a lot better start to this season, but yeah, no, here we go.
It's not how we thought the first non-preseason episode would go. But here we are. Let's just hope there's not more of them.
Yeah. Yep. So. I mean, yeah. So here's to the team. Luckily, they'll hopefully they'll insulate themselves into Oxnard, block out all the noise, and try to figure out some way to regroup and get it together. But no,
you don't. Were they looking ahead at all?
No, honestly, I think they watched the Kansas game and got way too overconfident. If you honestly really want
that would be looking ahead. I think that's looking ahead. That's the definition of looking ahead.
No, not like looking ahead to USC. I think they saw the Kansas game with Fresno, and I think they just got way overconfident. It's like, we got to
take them seriously, and we're like, well, just whatever. Then
yeah. But as far as them looking ahead to the USC game, I don't think it was so much that. I just think that they really underestimated their opponent. I think coaching staff did. I think players did, and I think it showed up, and they got smacked in the mouth.
I don't know,
and I think they fed it. I think they fed into the hype of how good they were.
I agree with.
It's telling them, oh, you're great. You're right
that
before
the
game
with.
Friday, the dude that does Locked On Sunbelt predicted us to win the Sunbelt East. And again, I think it's just one of those things to where too many people Phil still has you as doing great. All the internet folks had.
All we gotta do is show up.
All we gotta do is show up. Who's Fresno State? Everybody's saying they're 6-6. They got blown out by Kansas. What's Kansas? A 5-17 from last year. Yeah. It's just. I think it's just they just got punched in the mouth. They got a hard lesson in reality, and
they did. We'll see what happens. Let's hope. Yeah, let's hope.
Again, I think it's players and coaching staff because I think they were not well prepared for this game.
They were not well prepared, but I only bring that up because it's, again, unique situation because it's back-to-back road games, both in California. Most of the players, all the interviews I saw, it's like, oh, it's my first time on the West Coast, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I think they thought this was a coast.
Yeah.
We're going to coast through it. We're going to head down south to LA, and then the real season begins against USC. I honestly think that. And I'll say, like, whether it's leaders like Josh Dallas to like Camden Brown, Frank interviewed him after the game, and it's like USC this, blah blah blah, and Josh Dallas was in like the press conference talking about it and stuff like that, and it's like you don't see that very often. Of like you're already talking about game 2 before you're talking about game 1. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do USC. It's like no.
Yeah.
Fresno State, you got to play them first.
Yeah, you got to play them first. Yeah. I also think it was a mistake to really hype up, oh, this is the first trip to California. And I don't know. It felt like it's more of a vacation, not like us going out there to just, it was like, man, it's Hollywood.
We're staying out there for the 2 weeks.
Napa Valley. It's a great time. And
go to the beach.
We're going to, all this shenanigans. And it wasn't just, I feel like we kind of really overplayed that up and really just, instead of keeping it about football, it was all trying to highlight. We treated it almost
like a bowl game.
Yeah.
And we know how we fare in bowl games under Helton. So Yeah, that's what it honestly felt like. It was just like we're gonna play a football game, but we're on vacation. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Well,
And we
anyway,
played like it too.
we did play like it. So yeah. Stay healthy to USC. Start a new season in Statesboro against Jack State. We'll pick it up after that. Preview Jack State most likely. And yeah, Cody. But as upset as we are, as depressed as we are, as hard as this Sunday has been, and this week will be, it's always Hail Southern, no place else.
That's right. Hail Southern.
Man, what a great day to be an Eagle.